Tengo tantos estudiantes que se confunden usando tan y tanto, pero no es tan difícil, de verdad. El español no es tan difícil. Seguro que no es tan difícil como el alemán. Seguro. Bueno, hola, soy Alejandro de KeySpanish, and in today's lesson we're going to tackle the topic of using tan and tanto correctly. We're going to start with some general uses of tanto and tan, and then we're going to focus specifically on how they are used to make comparisons. And lastly, I'm going to share with you some expressions with the word tanto that are quite handy. So let's get started with tanto. You can think of it as so much, so many. And we can use it as an adjective that modifies nouns or as an adverb that modifies verbs. If you are confused by this terminology, do not worry. It's just that as an adjective, it's saying how much we have of something, the amount. And as an adverb, it tells us how much we do of something. Okay? So when it modifies nouns, it says how much we have of a thing. And with modifying verbs, how much we do of a thing. Of a thing. That's strange. Okay, so let's see some examples. Tanto as an adjective first. You would say, KeySpanish tiene tantos vídeos buenos que no sé por cuál empezar. Okay? KeySpanish has so many good videos that I don't know which one to start with. And I feel you. I feel your pain. So this is an example of tanto as an adjective. You see, it modifies the noun videos. It talks about how much videos I have, the amount of videos. And when used as an adjective, you have to pay attention to the agreement in both gender, masculine and feminine, and number, singular and plural. So the masculine form would be tanto and tantos for the plural, and the feminine tanta with the singular form tantas. Okay? Tanto, tantos, tanta, tantas. So you have a sentence like, tiene tantas camisetas, tantos pantalones y en general tanta ropa que ya no le cabe en el armario. So he has so many shirts, so many pants, and in general, so many clothes that they no longer fit in his closet. You see an example here how tantos and tantas and tanto is changing according to the gender and noun of the noun it is modifying. And now let's switch to tanto as an adverb. Again, it's telling us how much we do of something. It's modifying a verb. No es bueno gastar tanto, tienes que ahorrar. It's not good to spend so much, you have to save. We're talking how much we do of something, how much we are spending, and therefore it's an adverb that is invariable. Another example, ¿cómo puedes comer tanto? Vas a explotar. How can you eat so much? You are going to explode. It never changes when used as an adverb. It's always tanto. Okay? It does not agree in gender, number with anything. And you can also follow this sentence with que, tanto que, when you use a verb. And it's like in English saying so much that. So comimos tanto, again, we are talking about eating too much all the time. Because I know it's something it's close to me, I like to eat. So comimos tanto que no podíamos ni caminar. We had so much that we couldn't even walk. Okay? So verbo tanto que would be so much that. And I want to finish this section of tanto with a use that is not that common, but it's good to know. It's un tanto. Un tanto is used as un poco, a bit, and it's used as in English with something negative. So Laura es un tanto extraña, ¿no crees? Laura is a bit strange, a bit weird, don't you think? Okay? So you use un tanto followed by an adjective when meaning that is a bit of something. Again, normally something negative. So far, we have learned that we can use tanto to modify nouns, that is to say how much we have of something. And in that case, you have to agree with number and gender, tanto, tantas, tantos, tantas. And as an adverb, saying how much we do of something, modifying verbs, in which case it does not change. And as just mentioned, this use of un tanto extraña, un tanto raro, would be un poco, a bit. Let's now dive into tan, this shortened form of tanto, that you can think of it as so. And what it does is intensifies qualities, that is, adjectives or adverbs. But we don't need to worry about that terminology. Just think of it as qualities. Example, Francisco es tan inteligente. Francisco is so smart. Oh my goodness. And tan, good news for you, it does not change. It's always tan. It does not have a feminine form, masculine, plural, nothing. It's Francisco es tan inteligente and mis hijas son tan inteligentes. So now we're talking about the feminine plural instead of masculine singular, but tan is just tan. So quite straightforward. A note about the usage of tan is that we can say tan poco, tan poca, tan pocos, tan pocas. For example, había tan poca gente en el concierto que lo cancelaron. There were so few people at the concert that they canceled it. So we can say tan poco as to mean so few. However, careful, we cannot say tan mucho. Okay? So, había tan mucha gente, so many people at the concert that I couldn't sit down, que no pude sentarme. That would not be correct. You cannot say tan mucho. You would say just había tanta gente en el concierto que no pude sentarme. Okay? So careful with this one because I hear students say that from time to time. We have now covered both the uses of tanto and tan. And to make sure you understood, let's do some practice. Remember to pause the video if you need to and to say the answers out loud to really try to answer, okay? No seas vago, don't be lazy, and interact, okay? Participate. So, Penélope Cruz es guapa, estoy enamorado. Again, pause if you need to. How do you complete this sentence? It would be, Penélope Cruz es tan guapa, estoy enamorado. Penélope Cruz is so pretty, I'm in love. One more. ¿Por qué tienes libros? Nunca lees. Pause if you need to. The answer is ¿por qué tienes tantos libros? Nunca lees. Why do you have so many books? You never read. One more, and I think the last one. Es peligroso fumar. Tienes que dejarlo. What is it? Es peligroso fumar tanto. Tienes que dejarlo. It is dangerous to smoke so much. You have to quit, okay? So now it's modifying verb. It's used as an adverb. You are now ready to jump into using tan and tanto for comparisons. And this can be a bit more tricky or confusing, but not to worry. We're going to tackle it together. And I'm sure you are going to have a good understanding of it. If you are enjoying the video so far, please give it a like, dale a me gusta. It truly helps us. And now let's dive in. We're going to see comparisons first with tan and como, then tanto, como, and a structure that means both in English, tanto X como Y. So let's see tan como. We will put there adjectives and adverbs. So what we will be doing is comparing qualities of things. Again, as before, tan intensifies qualities, so we're making comparisons, we are doing the same thing. Let's see an example. No soy tan joven como tú. I'm not as young as you. Joven is an adjective, again, it's a quality, and this person does not have this quality in the same amount as the other. No soy tan joven como tú. If, however, we have an adverb like rápido, fast, Juan corre tan rápido como yo. Juan runs as fast as me. So, straightforward, right? Just comparing qualities. You can say that something is as fast as something else or is not as young as something else. So with tan como, comparing qualities. And I want to share with you an example that is quite frequent because many students ask me, how do you say as soon as possible? As soon as whatever. So that would be, vendré tan pronto como pueda. I will come as soon as possible. And let's now take a look at tanto como instead of tan como. And one more time with tanto, we are going to modify nouns. So we are not comparing qualities, we are comparing quantities. Example, no leo tantos libros como mi madre. I don't read as many books as my mother. My mom reads a lot. I don't read so much. And you can then use a verb before the structure tanto como, to compare, in this case, how much we do, not how much we have of something, but how much we do of something. Los españoles trabajan tanto como los ingleses. Spaniards work as hard as the English. I swear that's true. People think Spanish people, we are lazy. No, I am lazy, but most Spanish people are not. Okay, so we work as hard as the English. Tanto como, trabajan tanto como los ingleses. The verb tanto como. Okay, comparing how much we do, how much we work. And now let's take a look at this case of contrasting qualities. So both things are equal. Tanto X as Y. So tanto los chicos como las chicas van a jugar el partido. Both boys and girls are going to play the game. So tanto, one thing, como, other thing. It's like in English saying both this and that. One more example. Trabajo tanto por dinero como por diversión. I work both for money and for fun. This is not true. I just work for money, not for fun. Not only you know the general uses of tan and tanto, but now you can make comparisons. Remember tan como, tanto como, with both verbs and modifying nouns. And now you can say both this and that. Tanto, esto como lo otro. But let's make sure you actually have mastered this content and you are not just passively listening while doing the dishes. No. Let's practice. Beyoncé no es guapa Shakira. Pause if you need to. How do you complete this sentence with the structures we have just learned? Well, Beyoncé, or Beyoncé, I don't know how to say that in Spanish. We would say Beyoncé, Beyoncé. No es tan guapa como Shakira, and that is true. Beyoncé is not as pretty, as beautiful as Shakira. One more. Fumar, beber alcohol son perjudiciales. Okay, pause if you need to. I'm going to give you the translation for this one before because it can be tricky. We're trying to say both smoking and drinking are harmful. And that would be tanto fumar como beber alcohol son perjudiciales. And the last one. En mi ciudad hay habitantes en la tuya. Complete this one and the answer is en mi ciudad hay tantos habitantes como en la tuya. Okay, that's enough about tanto como, tan como, adverbs, adjectives, and all of this mess. Now let's get to the fun stuff. Now you have mastered making comparisons and using tan to identify qualities, not to identify, to intensify qualities, and tanto to compare about how much we do of something, how much we have of something with nouns. And it's time for, again, the fun stuff, some expressions that we use with tanto. And the first one is mientras tanto. Mientras tanto means meanwhile. O yo estoy dando una lección y mientras tanto mi mujer está en el supermercado. So I'm giving a lesson and meanwhile my wife is in the supermarket. Estar al tanto, this one is interesting. It's to be up to date, to be informed, right? For example, tú estás al tanto de las noticias sobre España? Are you up to date with the news about Spain? ¿Estás al tanto? A similar structure is mantener al tanto a alguien, to keep someone informed or up to date. Mantener a alguien al tanto. One more, and this one is probably my favorite. Y tanto. Y tanto. That's, most certainly, you bet could be a translation, I don't know. But I would say, Alejandro es el mejor profesor de español de YouTube. And you would answer, honestly, y tanto. Most certainly, you bet, of course. Y tanto. One more is por lo tanto. Therefore. This one is very useful, right, to connect your speech. So, KeySpanish es un canal fantástico y por lo tanto lo veo todos los días. KeySpanish is a fantastic channel and therefore I watch it every day. Por lo tanto, therefore. And the last one for today, not super common but quite handy too, would be cuarenta y tantos, cincuenta y tantos. So with a number, you can add y tantos to mean something in a specific. I don't know how many. You would use that probably with age, mainly. I cannot think of any other examples, to be honest. So you can say, ¿cuántos años tiene Alejandro? Pues tiene veintitantos, 20-something. Not true, I wish. But cuarenta y tantos, treinta y tantos, right? 40-something or is in his 40s. Those are just 5 expressions, probably the most useful ones, or at least the ones I like the most. And if you know others, maybe you can leave them in the comments. Let's see. If you know other expressions using tanto, I will look forward to them. And if you enjoyed this lesson, please subscribe to our channel. It really helps and it's free, es gratis, okay? And to continue learning Spanish, you can watch our video that we did recently on ya versus todavía, another of these tricky subjects that get my students tripped up. But with the video, I'm sure you will master that concept too, not only tan and tanto. Soy Alejandro de KeySpanish y nos vemos en clase.